Hari Hari Om. 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 Om Mangalam Omkaramangalam. Om Mangalam Omkaramangalam. Om Mangalam Omkaramangalam. Guru Mangalam Guru Mangalam. Guru Mangalam Guru Mangalam. Guru Mangalam. Guru Mangalam. Hari Om and welcome to everyone for today's session on live in joy, not for joy. Live in joy, not for joy. Let me remind you some things which I have already shared in last 2 sessions of mine. The first thing, this is not just a lecture. This is a sharing. This is a sharing of what? A knowledge which helped me and so many people. And they could realize that this knowledge can bring a great joy. So, I would like to share this knowledge in a small tips or formulas or principles which can make a great difference in your life too. So, let us start. Almost all religious books, that means scriptures, say, you win your mind, you will win the world. Wow! You will win the mind. If you win the mind, you will win the world. What a great statement. Now, from this, I have derived a beautiful principle for every one of us. And hope if you think and give a try to it, reflect on it, it may help you also because it helped me so much. What's that? That is, mind your mind. Swamiji, what's this? I said, mind your mind. Let me start it with one of my experience of a childhood. I think I was at the age around 10 plus 2, that means 10 to 12 years, that was the age. It happened so, one day, my mother prepared noodles, and she served to my brother and sister, and they happily ate. It was the first time we were tasting noodle. And when it came to me, when I tasted it, oh, I still can remember that experience of mine of childhood. No, 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 no. I said to mother, no, I'm not going to eat it at all. The mother was very quiet and a very peaceful person, and she's till today a same. So she very lovingly smiled at me, came near to me, put her hand on my back, and told, just imagine now that, oh my dear son, if this noodle has some content which can cause a harm to you, or which can really not beneficial to you, I wouldn't have served it to you. Yes or no? So I started thinking, yes, when my mother served, that means she must have thought it first. Then she said, look at your brother and sister. They are happily enjoying it. So why don't you give a try just for me? So I recollected my strength at that small age, and remembering my mother's love, I started having noodle. Slowly, slowly, with every bite, my experiences started changing. My God. And after few days, I started liking noodles. Now, please understand. What I want to tell you is so simple, but it's very profound. We all must know something at some moment which we dislike because of our mind's nature. After some time, we may start liking it because anyway our mind keeps changing. Yes or no? Think about it. Now, I am giving few examples. In this world, see how this like and dislikes work for most of us, or almost all of us. I'll take first few examples. Now the first example. Some people, they just love what? Trekking, and very difficult trekking, and they are so passionate about it. We all know some people, they have a goal to climb the Everest. Now just imagine this thought or passion which they understand it to be a great joy is not joy for everyone. Yes or no? Yes. Now, second important point. There are people who love skydiving. My God. I met last year one person, a girl from Pune, and she told me she's the first skydiver, a female in not only India but probably in the Asia too. My God. And that's her passion. imagine skydiving is one of the passion for few, but it cannot be the joy for majority of the people. Yes or no? You will say, yes, Swamiji, yes, Swamiji. Now, another fantastic example. Once, somebody asked to one Mahatma, I won't take the name, Mahatma, what? Swamiji, now can you come with us for bungee jumping? That Mahatma was simple and a very traditional one. He says, what is this beta bungee jumping? He says, you have to go on the hilltop or to the sky riser and jump from it. Mahatma said, jump from it and what? Then this, a young boy said, and then you are tied up with the ropes and you come down screaming on the top of the world and you come down and you enjoy this jump which is called as a bungee jumping, a great thriller. This Mahatma said, please leave me alone. I don't want to experience this jump and this thrill because I am happy without it. Again, I would like to make you a point or register this that this, though it is a joy for few when they enjoy this bungee jumping, but not for everyone. What am I trying to tell to everyone? I'm trying to tell that this sort of experiences or joy, they are called as relative joy. Relative joy. Why? Because they keep changing. Today, you might enjoy bungee jumping, but after 10 years, you may not enjoy it. Therefore, I say it is a relative joy. Another, a very classic example I would like to give to you all because it just came to my mind. There are people who love music. And again, one experience I'm going to share to you all. First time when I never had this knowledge and I was studying in college. One of my friend and his family was very fond of music. So he told me, why don't you come today with us? We are going for a music festival. I was also very excited. He says, by God, music and festival. I said, let us try. So we went, got a nice seat, and a person came. Again, I'm not a very great musician, not telling the name, mentioning the name, and it was a sitar recitation. And it started. And people started, when that person started playing the sitar, people started enjoying. And I started looking at my watch. Oh my God. 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And very quickly, I messaged to one of my friends, give me a call quickly. So he gave me a call. I just excused to everyone and says, I have an important call and talk to this person. And went out of the auditorium and says, my God, oh, how is it so? Just because they were enjoying the sitar recitation by a great artist. I couldn't that time. Now I can. I can really enjoy. Just imagine. The time changes. Our mind also changes. The things which you dislike may start liking it afterwards, and that's why I'm giving this important message to everyone that do not get so much fixed with your likes and dislikes. Do not get very much fixed with like and dislikes, because when they are too strong, if we have so much of strong like about something, that indicates I have a great dislike for something too, and understand as a like, which is sort of a notion of the mind which gives joy. The dislike, which is also a notion of mind, can also give a great sorrow or disturbance to the mind. Yes or no? Therefore, my dear friends, please understand and think that that which I like today is not fine, but that's not ultimate. That's not ultimate. It definitely can change as I keep growing and I keep getting a different exposure in my life. So always keep a great chance for such change which happens in our mind, and that's why let us not get too much carried away by even the like or dislike. What I said, let us not get carried away by our own like or dislike. What can be the solution for it? My dear friends, a very unique and very simple solution to it is, let us practice this beautiful mantra, a great mantra which can give you a great contentment, a great stability to the mind. As I said in the last of my session, which I would like to remind you, what is joy? Joy is a state of mind which makes us feel complete. It's a state of mind which makes us feel complete. Now, what is that which is also state of mind which makes us feel incomplete? Therefore, there I said that mind which is peaceful mind is joyful mind. That mind which is a peaceful mind is a joyful mind. That mind which is a stable mind is a joyful mind. That mind which is positive mind is joyful mind. That mind which is harmonious mind is joyful mind. But that mind which is disturbed mind is a sorrowful mind. That mind which is disturbed mind is sorrowful mind. Think. That mind which is unstable. That mind which is unstable is again a sorrowful mind. that mind which is negative mind, that mind which is negative mind is also sorrowful mind. That mind which is disharmonious is also a sorrowful mind. My dear friends, other day somebody asked me, what is called as positive mind and what is called a negative mind? Please explain. So understand, a positive mind is a mind when you do any action, with positivity, it does not disturb you. It does not disturb you. And also, it does not disturb the world around. But that which is a negative action, disturbs us, disturbs the person who is doing the act, as well as it disturbs the world around. Examples? Simple example. If you help someone genuinely, then we all know you feel extremely fantastic. You feel peaceful. You feel happy. But if you hurt someone, imagine that person when he is in pain, you for very so-called as short time may feel, what a great thing I have done. I have insulted this person. But this is the rule of the whole universe. And you will appreciate, and you will think, and you will know it about it, or you will definitely agree with it. What you give, that you receive anyway. What you give, that you receive anyway, some or other day. Some or other day. If not today. If not today. Just imagine, I am giving an example. Kauravas in Mahabharata always were very much negative about the Pandavas. Though they were cousins and they were always trying to put all the Pandavas in difficulty, always trying to hurt them, always trying to destroy them. Now, what happened? We all know. One day, all the Kauravas, please note, all the Kauravas got completely destroyed. Got completely destroyed. Just see. That's what I said. This mind which is positive is joyful mind. And now coming back to this solution, that how one can manage one's likes and dislikes and little grow above it. Dear friends, the principle is wow. What, Swamiji, this word is? I said wow. Wow means with or without. Wow means with or without. That means if I am too attached to my cell phone, then I must know if my cell phone is not with me, then also I should be fine. Please note that if I can understand this, that whatever I have so much of attachment with, let us practice this, that I should able to be in joy with the object, and also I should be able to grow above and understand that if that object is not there with me, then also I should be happy. So, what will happen? Then, slowly, by following this principle of with or without, you will gain a great stability, great positivity, and the harmonious nature of the mind. Let us take one example more. Like sometimes we say, oh my God, now it's a summer season, and if I have to go somewhere, like to the different city for some different nice but very important work, and at home, if I am enjoying the great comfort of AC, and the place where I went now, there is no AC, air condition, and I have to whole night sleep without the AC. So, dear friends, let us understand we must develop this mind's inner strength, that though I have the capacity to enjoy the comfort of AC, but I should able to develop this strength also, where if it is not, then also I should be as happy as I am inside the AC room. Another example I can take. See, this is very important to understand, with or without. Generally, we say, I am so much concerned about the people around me, and I am so much attached to my near and dear. Yes, I can understand very well. We all can have a great concern with our near and dear. But please understand, oh my dear, what's that? Life is a journey. Life is a journey, and we all are there together in this journey. But no one knows which is the exit station for us or our own near and dear. It sounds little tough. It sounds little scary, but it's a fact, and you will appreciate if you really think about it. That yes, whosoever comes in the life has to go one day. That means knowing this truth, that whosoever comes has to go one day, has to exit one day. Therefore, I should be ready for this principle, that when I am with my near and dear, I should really be happy and enjoy with them. But even if some situation comes in my life where I have to live without them, then also I should be able to manage myself. Swami Chinmayananji says beautifully, he says, if you cannot enjoy your own company, why to inflict on others? Wow! He says, again I repeat, if you do not enjoy your own company, why to inflict it on others? See, therefore, let us be joyful with ourselves. Let us be joyful with ourselves. And how is it possible? As I said, let us practice mind your mind. What is that? Knowing that I have likes and dislikes. But today, as I like whatever, can definitely have a chance that it may turn to be a dislike. And similarly, whatever I dislike today might have a great chance of I would like it some day or other. Therefore, let us practice this simple principle. What is that? Wow! With or without. And make our mind peaceful, stable, positive, harmonious, so we can live in joy and enjoy. Jai Ho!